Thank you so much for joining me today as I take you through my authorized staff workshop that I did for a university client. So to kick things off, I like to start with a bit of an icebreaker. So I wanted to do a questions and answers post-it. So this is a really fun way when you're explaining Mural to the client to also get them involved, get them using it. So we had all the participants kind of race to find a post-it. We had them blank and they can put down their names. And then they've got both a question and answer post-it, which they can just duplicate throughout the workshop. And if they've got a question, they can put it on whatever area they might have that question on, and it's nice and recorded. And then if they have an answer or an idea, or they have an answer or an idea to someone's specific question, they can layer it on top and have that reflected. So one of the first tasks we did after that kind of icebreaker was we were focusing in on the epics and the high-level requirements. So we've got the epics right here in the pink boxes. So we just went through one by one and I would read them out and give people some time to kind of have discussions. And we had also put down any questions we would have or any ideas on those epics. And it was also important to just remind people of the different users. So we made sure that we included the permissions level over here. And then our second activity, we looked at some of our early wireframes and we got people to comment on them. So for instance, we went through this taught academic preliminary wireframe and we had these early designs and we would get people to comment on them, and there was lots of really great discussion. And so we just went through for a bunch of other screens and other kind of preliminary mock-ups and had really interesting discussions. And then we also did the same for kind of PS staff or admin staff. And then our final activity of the day was the user flow, which looks very intimidating, but definitely was resolved a bit more as we went through. And we would just have people, again, we'd facilitate the discussion, we would take them through a section of the flow or maybe one pathway, and then we'd get them to put down either if they had a question post-it or the answer post-it. And at the end of the day, this was a really fantastic output because we're all working remotely because of COVID. So it's fantastic to have such a kind of engaged and involved workshop. And it was also really lovely using the time boxing tool as well. If we would go through some tickets and then we give people the time on a little timer to write any of their questions or answers. And it was really great because you hear from some of the more quiet people as well, because everyone has a post-it so they feel represented. So it's also creating that kind of stakeholder engagement and buy-in and allowing them to iterate on the solution. So there we have it, a walkthrough of the workshop we did for the university client with all the various activities. Thanks so much for watching.